Good evening and hello to everybody. June 13th, another Monday, and I'm back with my Monday Tid-Bits. About 5 years back, on October 15, 2017, Courtney Dowater, after having a very difficult time with her eyes in the previous race, went for Moab 240 miles race. Yes, guys, 240 miles. And after 57 hours, she came out to be the winner of that race. That's not the important point I'm trying to make here. What I'm trying to tell you is the person who came second. Yeah, Courtney Dowater, being a female, came as winner of the overall winner of Moab 240. And the person who came second was 10 hours behind Courtney. Why I'm giving this data? This is very much linked to what I'm going to talk today about the impact, the physiological impact of a ultra run on men and women. Ultra marathons, we know that it takes a toll on our body. It's challenging. It's extremely challenging. In fact, um, our entire body goes through a lot of ups and downs during the race and post race, both externally as well as internally. We almost get injured. I want to draw your attention to one particular body parameter, which we call CPK, creatine phosphokinase. This is a particular biomarker which actually tells us about the level of inflammation in our body, the level of muscle damage, uh, heart damage, or brain damage. Typically, the CPK value hovers around 10 to the normal range is 10 to 100 micrograms per liter. Post any ultra marathon, when we get tested, it really goes up. It even goes up to 10,000, 15,000, if not even more. Now, Dr. Nicholas Tiller, one of a very known sports scientist, published a research result in the month of May 2022. And this is a research on a sample of ultramarathoners who ran UTMB and CCC. To be very precise, there are 10 female and some 43 male participants in this particular research. And what it did is took blood samples and few other data from your body, from the body of these athletes, pre and post the race. Um, 8 female athletes out of 10 actually completed those races. So what he did, he also took 8 male athletes whose finish time was within the mean finish time of those 8 female athletes. Now, what are the tests they did? They took some blood samples to take some biomarkers. They also tested, pulmonary and respiratory muscle damages, as well as a particular thing called pulmonary edema. So those data have been looked at very extensively by this research team, and surprise, what came out is on all parameters, irrespective of whatever the parameter is, the numbers in the female athletes are far better than in the male athletes. In fact, one of the item which is creatinine, which body generates, when the muscle damage and kidney is supposed to process that, that level came quite high in male athletes, and it was within range within female athletes. So what does this say? This say that the body of a female athlete is able to take a ultra marathon distance in a much better way than a male athlete. Now there is a word of caution here. I think this is the only the second research was being done on this kind of a topic. So just drawing a conclusion that, well, all female athletes perform better than male from a physiological point of view after ultramarathon will be too much of generalization, which may not be right, but it certainly gives us some bit of idea that female athletes can absorb the pounding of the body through a long distance, say 100 miles, 200 miles, in a much better way than than a male athlete. This is also very clear when you look into the extensive data which is available within research scientists, when it comes to sprint, medium distance, long distance, and ultra distance. We have clearly seen the moment the distance goes up, female athletes perform almost close to the male athletes. And there are cases like I was giving the example of Courtney, where Courtney not only performed way better than the male athletes when it's come to 240 miles. Uh, what does it also tells us about the recovery and the way recovery will be looked after by a male athlete and a female athlete? Clearly, a recovery for a female athlete will be much faster after a grueling 200-mile race than a male athlete. And the male athlete has to take much more precaution. Attention should be given to body, more rest is needed, nutrition to be very precise for a male athlete so that they recover faster. Uh, Scientists also say that, because of this, even during training, a male athlete need to be a bit more careful and cautious about his recovery as compared to a female athlete. Yeah, I know all those female athletes will be watching this video will be laughing and say, "Oh yeah, finally something." Huh? Uh, but again, I'll time and again say that generalization is not the right way to look at it. This certainly gives us a guidance, a view, but it is not foolproof, because always remember, every athlete is different, everybody's body structure is different, the genetic build of the individual is different. Some females are extremely good in absorbing the pain. Maybe there will be few females who will not be able to do it. Don't generalize these theories. Um, Another thing which also comes in my mind is, you know, because a female athlete can take the longer distance better. So before a longer distance, a male athlete should at least 6 to 8 weeks before the race should go for a little bit more intense training, so that the body get used to that kind of grueling, little bit more intense than the kind of training a female athlete will go for. So a little bit more verticals, little bit more of volume, etc., should be done by the male athletes. This is the main topic which I wanted to talk about. My first item of the day. The second item of the day, I want to talk about the brain. Of late, I obviously I spend more time um, with regard to mind of the runner and how it impacts. Last week also I was talking about COVID and how that has increased the cases of anxiety and mental illness. In fact, in US today, mental illness is the biggest medical disorder among individuals, and this has happened post COVID. So, how running is related to this? Obviously, running helps. We all know those, all those chemicals runners generate, and which makes runner happy, which is also termed as the runner high. But today, I also wanted to talk about what exactly it happens. if you go back to our early days of civilization, um, there's a common terminology we use today is the fight or flight, right? So every time the caveman, they face any challenges in their life, and those days the challenge was only life threatening, right? So either you fight or you fly out. That means you run. Cut to 2022. What happens? Our brain still has little bit of those memories. So when we run, we are away from our problems. We feel better. The real science, the biological science is when you are running, we use our, in fact, running actually involves maximum usage of our brain cells among any other activity which we take. And running actually involves the frontal part of our brain. So when this thing happens, then it actually, you know, gives us the relief, because brain is engaged into a one particular activity that is running. Also what happens, and this happens predominantly when you are running outside, you feel more under control. Why? There are distractions, there are several other disturbances which you are coming across, and you are continuously focusing on them, and still you can run. That means you are completely uncontrolled. That give you relief. You are no longer that anxious. This even better when you are going out on trails, because you're surrounded by greenery. And the more greenery you are surrounded by, your anxiety levels will certainly come down. This lots of scientists have proven. So it is always beneficial for us to go out for runs, especially when we are going through little bit of mental turbulence. It can be any damn reason. I'm not getting into the reason. It can be COVID, it can be non-COVID, it can be any damn reason. But it is always better to go out, go close to nature, and take a good run. However, scientists have also realized that the running activity has to be at a moderate level. Actually, all those chemicals, endorphins, and all these things which the body generates when you're running, which makes you happy or gives you the run high, they're actually at an optimum level. The generation of those chemicals at an optimum level when your intensity of the exercise is at a medium level. It loses when you are at extremely high or extremely low intensity level. So if you think that you will go for a 100-meter sprint and you will get the same runner high, sorry, you will not get. If you think that almost you will do a walk jog and you will feel better, no, it will not. It is exactly at the moderate level of intensity where you get the maximum benefit when it comes to your brain. That is it for today. I do not have any more to talk about, and I want to keep it within 15 minutes. Thank you very much for all those people who are watching this, who are going to watch this. Do drop in your comments. I love to hear from you. The few people who regularly give me feedback, these are very, very helpful. I will try to improve upon my daily on my Monday Tidbits, and I take tremendous amount of inspiration from people who give me feedback, who provide me valuable inputs, and I will see you again next Monday. In all probability, I'll not be in Mumbai next Monday, and I will still try to come on a Monday Tidbit and talk about something which is very dear to us, which is about long runs. Till then, see you. Bye bye.